Hey guys, welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Morgan and I'm the maker behind I Like Crochet, and if you're one of my fabulous returning crochet friends, then hey, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be going over 20 interactive crochet patterns that are perfect for markets. Some of them are even so they work up really quickly and they're super beginner friendly. And I was inspired to make this little compilation because if you didn't know, I've been on a little bit of like an interactive crochet pattern writing kick lately. It all started, well, I guess you could say it started way back with the fruit hat duckies. Recently we did the Brontosaurus dress up pattern, and currently I have another one that I'm about to show you guys. But designing all of these patterns has really showed me that there is a huge demand for interactive crochet items. In my experience, especially if you're someone who does markets, anytime you have something that is more interactive, people tend to be more drawn to it just because it has that like little extra element to it. Maybe it's kind of like a fidget toy, it does something, it's like popping. Or if you have like different dress up elements that you can like mix and match, I just feel like those garner so much attention. And as we are in the spring and honestly almost the summer right now, which is so crazy, I know that there are a bunch of people out there who are doing markets right now, so I thought it'd be super fun to put this video together, hopefully give some little inspiration, and I have some incredible pattern designers for you guys. Remember, as you watch this video, to go support all of these pattern designers. Make sure you give them a like, a follow. I will link all of the patterns in the description box below in case you would like to check out any of these patterns and make them for yourself. Before we get into it though, be sure that you like this video and subscribe if you would like to see more crochet related content like this in the future. Few announcements before we get started. I told you guys I've designed another like interactive dress up pattern. My newest pattern, you guys, is the little mushroom dress up pattern. I love it so much, you guys. This is actually my biggest pattern bundle yet. It is a 16-in-1 crochet pattern bundle. So all of the different tops are completely removable. One of my favorite parts here, so you just take the straps off the arms, and when you take the top off, it literally looks like a little egg, almost like Humpty Dumpty in a way. And then you just take the other top, you just pull that on, bring the little arm straps over each side, and you have a cute little dress up mushroom. How adorable. This is the daisy variation. It almost kind of looks like a bucket hat. And just because I thought everybody would like it, I did include a little optional booty in the back. You definitely don't have to add a booty, but the instructions are there if you would like it. But as you can see here, like I said, there's 16 different variations. Gosh, there's the daisy, the orange, the dragon fruit, sunflower, blueberry, rose, watermelon, hamburger, which is a fun one. Did I say strawberry already? The pizza one, the apple, the kiwi, pineapple, grape, and raspberry. I really kind of went all out with this pattern, but I just love it so much. This pattern comes out next Thursday, so it's going to release on June 25th. And at the time you guys are watching this video, my level 4 Patreon members are exclusively testing this pattern, and they currently have early access. Also on Patreon this month, we are doing another top secret pattern test, and we are also kicking off our plushie pageant. So if you would like to join in on this pattern test, and of course get the finalized pattern included in your membership, as well as all of the other patterns, the link is in the description below to join the fun and to check out my Patreon. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So the first interactive crochet pattern that I have to show you guys is from a crochet designer that I know we all know and love. This pattern is by All From Jade. It is for the anemone hideaway pattern. I'm kind of impressed that I was able to say anemone correctly on the first try. This pattern is a bestseller on Etsy. It is completely no-sew, and one of the things that I find very cool about her patterns is they are available both in English and French, which I feel like is kind of rare to see patterns available in 2 different languages. But the pattern includes photos, even some videos are included in the pattern as well. But one of the amazing parts about this pattern is the clownfishes actually can fit inside of the anemone, so they can pop in and out of it. And I believe there's also 2 different like clownfish sizes. There's a larger size and a smaller size as well. It's definitely giving Finding Nemo vibes. I'm here for it. Just so much fun. I love when like things can hide inside of other things, especially like within the crochet space. I feel like it's just a fun surprise. And of course with the anemone, there's so many different opportunities for some different color variations. I feel like, and especially in this picture, you can see variegated yarn would look really cool for like the little, oh gosh, I don't even know what that would be called. The little like, I don't know, tentacle part of the anemone. Anemone. Wait, have I been mispronouncing it this entire time? Anemone. Anemone. I need to watch Finding Nemo again, clearly. Pattern number 2, when I first saw this, I got so excited because I feel like it is so incredibly creative. This pattern is by Poppet Moon Crochet. It is for the Poplet Dragon. This pattern is also completely no-sew, and not only does it like fold in onto itself into like a little kind of ball, and there's a little strap that you can lock it in place, but when you undo the ball and it turns into a dragon, all of the different like little white circular parts kind of pop in and outward. So it's also a built-in like fidget toy as well, which I just thought was so creative, because on one side it can kind of be like a stress ball, and then on the other side it's like a fidget toy. But this pattern is a bestseller. I know I've heard a few of my Patreon members have been making it and they've been loving the pattern, and also there's a bunch of different opportunities to make the dragon in many different colors, and dragons are always super popular at markets too. So I feel like if you could make a smaller dragon like this that you could put at a smaller price point, then it would definitely garner a lot of attention. Ooh, this next one is so cute. Okay, so pattern number 3 is by Stitch by Scott SS, and it is for the Flower Pot Otter. As I read that, immediately I thought, okay, flower potter, if you will. But no, the real name is Flower Pot Otter. This is also a bestseller, and basically the otter like pops up and down inside of the flower pot. There's like a little stem that's on his head that you can grab and like pull him up and down. And then of course he also is holding a little flower. It's so cute, very adorable. It's also very like spring coated too, and everybody loves otters, so it's pretty perfect. And again, it's kind of another fidget toy as well, because you can pop it up and down. Of course, like I said, I've been on my own interactive crochet pattern writing kick lately, so I am going to sprinkle in little shameless plugs here throughout this video. This next pattern is a pattern of my own. It is my 15-in-1 Larry the Land Turtle mod pack. You guys, I love this pattern so much. You guys are probably aware of the original Larry the Land Turtle, so I made that one, and that's like definitely a larger size turtle. And then after that I did the ladybug dress up pattern, which it has the little like backs that wrap around the feet and you can remove them. And then I thought, wait, in so many movies I saw growing up, I always remember like the turtle shells coming off and just like that joke. And then I thought, oh my gosh, if I combined the ladybug with the land turtle, I can make a land turtle with removable shells, and I just love it so much. So like I said, there are 15 different ones in here. There's the traditional shell, the blueberry, daisy, hamburger, raspberry, orange, pineapple, grape, kiwi, pizza, rose, sunflower, strawberry, watermelon, and dragon fruit. And the very cool thing about this pattern is it's completely no-sew other than the ones with the stems on them. But the legs and the head all work up into one piece, so there's no sewing involved with that. And there's also a video included with the pattern where I go over some of the more trickier parts just for some more like additional visual assistance if you would like that. Recently, if you saw last week's market prep / recap video, you know that I did a whole like dress up building station market basically, where I featured all of my most recent dress up patterns, and it did so well. It's so crazy to think I knew that like when I did the fruit hat duckies, everybody loved dressing them up in the different hats, so it's just so crazy to see how that idea has kind of like transformed over time. And now we're doing mushrooms with little removable hats. I've had several people tell me that it kind of almost looks like a backpack, or like he's like a little scout mushroom, which I love. I can't unsee it now. All right, now moving on to pattern number 5. So I actually had the pleasure of meeting this designer not under very good circumstances, because it just so happened that the person who perhaps took my pattern also maybe took her pattern. So we were kind of like talking back and forth about that. But the good thing is that is how I got to know her, and I'm so glad that I did, because that allowed me to see this silly couch goose pattern for the very first time. This pattern is by Antelope Crochet. It is so cute. You guys know like the recent, oh gosh, like the porch goose theme where like you dress up the goose in like different outfits. I feel like this is kind of in that realm. It's this adorable, you can definitely tell it's like a larger pattern too, which I love. You guys know I love the larger patterns, and it has some different outfits included with it. So there's boots, if you look at the feet, oh my gosh, it's so cute. There's also like a little shawl, there's a daisy hat, a party hat. Oh, okay, so wait, there's actually 2 party hats. So the one is just like a regular party hat, and the other one actually has curly hair that comes down off of it, which I think is genius. So cute, definitely floppy and adorable. And it's also kind of giving like cottage vibes, which I know is really popular in the crochet community. Next pattern, you guys probably also know this designer. This one is by Amigurumi Toys. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. correctly, and this is the apple with the worm pattern. So with this one, this pattern is no-sew, and it's really cool because the little worm, it can go like in and out of the apple. You can either like pop it up a little bit and put it back in, or it's also like completely removable, but I just thought that that theme was perfect because when you think of an apple, you probably also think of the worm that might be in the apple. And this is also another bestseller, works up super quickly. I just feel like the fact that it pops in and out is just a really fun surprise. Pattern number 7, I have made these for so long. These are like one of the original patterns that I was making when I first learned how to crochet. And this pattern is by Cable and Canvas. It is for the Itty Bitty Mushy Pop. And of course, if you've never seen this pattern before, so the mushroom top actually like pops up and down, kind of like a fidget toy. It's very fun. It's also completely no-sew. It works up super quickly. You can make it in a bunch of different colors, and I actually made mine into keychains as well. So you definitely don't have to do that. It can just be a regular mushroom, but I always made mine into keychains so they could go on like backpacks or bags. I just put the little keychain right on the top of the mushroom, and then you can still pop it up and down that way. But if you're not familiar with Cable and Canvas, she writes a lot of these interactive like popping patterns. So if you are a fan of that, definitely check out her page. Pattern number 8, so it's actually another dragon, which I thought was just super fun to add that to this list. This one is by Dr. Choco Crochet. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it is for the Hatching Baby Dragon pattern. As you can see, it's super small. It's super cute. I love the little wings, and the faces on them are just adorable. Of course, you can make them in a lot of color combinations. There's also like different styles of eggs that you can make. So you can make plain eggs, or you can make ones that have little like bumps or spots on them. And of course, the cool thing is the dragon actually goes inside of the egg, so you can completely put it in the egg, or you can also like take it out a little bit. Just a nice fun surprise. I can't get over the wings though. I feel like the wings are particularly adorable. I love the little detail of how it's kind of like jagged a little bit, so you can see the shape of the wing. Okay, this next one, pattern number 9, I thought was so creative. And when I was searching for interactive patterns, this is actually the very first time that I've ever seen this pattern. There are so many patterns. I can't believe it's like sometimes I don't really scroll like Instagram that much, so I feel like sometimes I totally miss out on like really cool patterns that people have written. So I'm so glad that this one popped up when I was searching for it today. So this pattern is by Mermaid with Joy. It is for the Arthur the Bookworm Butterfly. This pattern is no-sew. It's also a bestseller, but the very cool thing about this is the book and the pages are actually removable. So if you look at it, the book has like a little strap that goes on it, and you can put the book actually on the back of the butterfly and it will look like wings. And you can also put the pages in there as well, so it looks like a book, but you can remove the pages as well so it looks more like a butterfly. And then of course you can take the whole thing off and make it look like the butterfly is reading the book. I just thought it was so genius, and of course it's smaller so it works up super quickly. I just think it's one of those just little adorable patterns. And speaking of insects, I have another shameless plug for you guys. I think this might be like the only insect pattern that I've ever written, but it is for my 10-in-1 little snail dress up bundle. This one was so much fun to design. Of course, it comes with 10 different shell variations. There's just the regular traditional shell. There's the strawberry, blueberry, peach or orange, the daisy, sunflower, dragon fruit, apple, kiwi, and the watermelon one. The very fun thing about this one is the cover like goes on and off, so you can mix and match the shells, and the little straps go around the snail's arms, so it looks like it's a little backpack cover, and he's like running around with his little backpack. There's also the little like frilly detailing at the bottom to make it look more like a snail, and it's also low sew. So basically there is a base that goes under each of the covers, and just that is sewn to the body. Everything else is no sew. The only sewing required for the shells is just sewing that strawberry stem onto that one, but all of the other ones are completely no sew. Very fun, very interactive, perfect for markets. If you watched my market prep video last week, you know that all of the snails that I made completely sold out. Number 11, I am not surprised with like the, oh gosh, trend, I guess, of the goose dress up thing. I'm really not surprised that I placed 2 different dress up goose patterns on this list. I just love them so much. So this next one is by the one and only Wonder Crochet. It is for the dress up Goose pattern. This one is also no-sew, which is very, very surprising to me because there's just so much detail involved with this one. So there's 5 different outfits. Okay, the rain hat and the boots one, how cute is that? I need to design a pattern with boots because every time I see it, like, I just love it so much. I think the little booties are so cute. There's also the sunflower hat and the dress with the little sunflower on it. There's the cowboy hat and the bandana, which you guys know I'm a fan of the cowboy hat and the bandana. There's also the bonnet and the bow, and then of course the mushroom hat and the bag. I love these so, so much. I follow Wonder Crochet on Instagram and I saw her post about this. I would love to be able to make this at some point. I just love the like interactive outfits. You guys know I love a good dress up pattern. The next pattern is by Aaron with the Crochet Carpenter. So he's been doing like this very long series lately where he actually makes finger puppets. So they're like these tiny little plushies, but you can also make them into finger puppets so they're interactive that way. This one here is the octopus bundle. It includes drift and riff. And like I said, you can make it into a finger puppet, but there's also the option to make it just into a regular octopus. I know he also has, I believe there's a caterpillar, a ladybug, and a lizard, and I'm sure there's a bunch more because I know he was doing a whole series about it. But I could totally see this one doing really well at markets because it is so interactive. I have loved the whole octopus theme now for a while. The texture of the tentacles is just so fun. Highly recommend. I know a lot of people have made this pattern and they love it. I've heard really, really great things about this next pattern too. So pattern number 13 is by Unraveled and Unwound. It is like part of the mini stress ball buddies series. So this is another designer who has a whole series kind of built around this. This one in particular that I wanted to show you guys is part of the garden series. So it's a no-sew 5-in-1 bundle and it comes with the daisy hood, the forget-me-not hood, the sunflower, butterfly, and the wasp hood that kind of looks like a bee. But the interactive element on this one is, so the circular part actually comes out of the hollow part, so all of those different modifications, and it turns into a stress ball. And I know several of my Patreon friends have made this one as well and they love it so, so much. They always like rave about how well it does. I've seen a lot of people make the ones where they have like the little squishy thing inside with the liquid in it. Not this pattern, but like other patterns. And like there's a little opening and it kind of pops out of it. I've always been a little wary of making those just because I'm personally afraid that like if something happened and it got like squeezed too hard or like something poked it, it might explode, and that would kind of freak me out a little bit. So I feel like if you're also a little bit worried about that, but you still want to make something that is a stress ball, this is a really great option for that. I do also know that there are a lot of people who have made the other stress ball patterns and have never had a problem with it, so don't mind me. I'm just like paranoid about it. I have another pattern on the list by this creator. Love her patterns so, so much. I have another one for you guys by All From Jade. This is a pattern that I of course have made myself and I love it so, so much. It is the Animals on a Swing pattern. It is a low sew 8-in-1 pattern bundle. It comes with the different modifications for the seal, the mallard, the turtle, the penguin, the walrus, the axolotl, otter, and then also the frog. And of course you can put them on the swing. They'll swing back and forth. And also the way that she designed it, the animal is actually movable on the swing, so you can move the animal up and down on the swing if you'd like. I made a bunch of these for my in-person like marketplace booth and they have done very, very well. I just got a little pegboard and like put them all on the pegboard so I could hang them up to display them, and they have been one of my best sellers. I actually need to restock them very badly, so highly recommend this pattern. I also love to make just the little animals sometimes, like even by themselves without the swings. Several times I have made the mallard and the penguin in Feels Like Bliss yarn, so it turns out really, really small. It's so cute. It's very fuzzy and it's just the tiniest little thing. It's like 2 inches tall by 2 inches wide. So if you're looking for a pattern that's interactive and also kind of versatile, then highly recommend this one. I'm sure you guys know this pattern very, very well, but I would be remiss if I made an interactive crochet pattern video and did not include this pattern in this video. This pattern is by Fluff Bell Chen. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it is for the Trunk the Turtle pattern, which you guys know if you've been watching me for a while. I have been lovingly referring to this one as the cheeky turtle for a very long time now. The shell comes off of the little arms, and then there's the little surprise underneath the booty. Back when I was doing a lot of in-person markets, this is a pattern that I would make a ton, and people always loved the little surprise of having the booty underneath. That's why I was saying, like, I referred to it as the cheeky turtle so that I could have it on the sign and people were like, wait, why is it called the cheeky turtle? And then they could kind of investigate in their own time. But it's no-sew, so it works up really quickly. And I know that I've seen some people do like different modifications. I've seen a Santa one and I've seen like different Halloween themed ones as well. And I also think this pattern actually was a collaboration. So I believe Gwenny's Crochet, Fluffbell Chen, and also Crochet Crochets worked on this one together. This next pattern is also the first time I have ever seen it, and it's also the first time I've ever had the pleasure of hearing about this crochet pattern designer. This pattern is by Lonely Soul Fiber Arts. It is for the Peekaboo Pals Pill Bug. This one is so cute, you guys. What I'm gathering here is that bugs work really well as interactive patterns. I don't know what it is, but this one, so as you can see, like when it's standing straight up, all of the arms are out and the face is out and everything, but it also transforms into a roly-poly. So the back that's on it, you can kind of curl it in on itself and then it will fold into the little roly-poly like ball that you see on this one side. It's super cute. You could roll it around. You could also kind of like use it as a ball, I guess, or like a stress ball. And then when you're ready to see the bug, you just roll it out. It's a very, very fun surprise. I very much appreciate like the engineering behind this one. Pattern number 17 is one that I have made, and I made it a while ago, but it was so much fun to do. I actually made it for a custom order. This one is by Teresa's Crochet Shop. It is for Barry the Bass, and the thing that I loved most about this pattern is there's actually not really, if I remember correctly, I don't think that there's really any stuffing involved in this pattern because the entire inside of this pattern is just the bass's mouth, and the pattern also comes with the instructions on how to make the little worm. So the worm can go like in and out of the bass's mouth, and as you can see from the photo, the worm is very thrilled about that fact. I just always thought it was really fun, and when I made this for a custom order, it was for somebody's dad for Father's Day, which actually Father's Day is this Sunday. So that was actually a year ago that I made this pattern, which is super fun. So it's really versatile that way too. It makes the perfect Father's Day pattern. Anyone in your life who loves fishing. You could also take the characteristic, like I just caught a fish photo with this one, which I think is very funny. Pattern number 18 is by Brit's Stitched. It is for the, oh wait, hold on. It auto-corrected when I was typing it out. It is for the cappuccino. So it's kind of like a little play on words. It's a little sitting capybara that goes inside the little mug. So it's supposed to be a cappuccino, but the capybara is removable. You can take it in and out of the mug, which I thought was really adorable. I don't know why. Capybaras just fit so many different themes. Capybaras definitely don't normally spend their time in or around mugs in the wild, but for some reason this just works perfectly. It looks like it's meant to be. Pattern number 19 is kind of like a little fun play on words. It is by Blue Paw Print Crochet, and it is for the peas in the pod pattern. Of course, the little peas are removable. I love the idea because there's two of them doing like different faces for them. So maybe one is smiling or one is frowning or grumpy or I don't know, maybe even evil. But it's super cute. I love the play on words. It's also low sew, and apparently the pattern comes with like different sizes, so you can either do the small or the big pod as well. And finally, for pattern number 10, I had to finish out with one of the other dress up patterns that I have recently made. This is actually my most recent dress up crochet pattern that I've done, and it is for the 9-in-1 Brontosaurus dress up pattern. Like I said, it comes with 9 different variations. The sunflower, the apple, the orange. You could also make a peach one again. The daisy one, which I love, super, super cute. There's the kiwi one, the blueberry, strawberry, dragon fruit, and watermelon. This pattern is completely no-sew except for just the strawberry stem that goes on the strawberry cover, but it's a built-in no-sew Brontosaurus pattern. It's kind of a smaller size, which I've wanted to design for so long, just that smaller Brontosaurus. And I'm very proud of the fact that it is no-sew. The legs all crochet up into one, and then the tail crochets directly into the body as well. The hardest thing about this pattern was designing the cover that goes over the Brontosaurus, because not only did I have to do like the little straps that go around each leg and the little divot for the tail, but I also had to do the opening for the neck as well. So I'm very proud at how it turned out. Again, I had these at my last market and they completely sold out. Everybody got to choose like the different covers that they wanted for their Bronto, and I made a bunch of different Brontos in different colors, so it's very versatile that way too. I definitely would love to keep designing dress up patterns because they have just been so much fun for me lately, and I have so many different other ideas, and I think it would just be so great to do a full market again with just dress up patterns. But anyway, you guys, that wraps it up for all 20 of our interactive crochet patterns. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Hopefully you found a little bit of inspiration in it. If you are planning on making any of these crochet patterns, let us know in the comments which ones stood out to you. Again, like I said, all of the patterns are linked in the description. Be sure to go support all of the pattern designers, give them a like, give them a follow. Be sure to check out their Etsy pages for all of the other fun crochet patterns that they have designed lately. So excited for this next one, you guys. In next week's video, I'm thinking of doing something fun with this little mushroom pattern, since next week will be the release date for these guys. As always, if you were crocheting while watching this video, let all of us know what you were making in the comments, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye!